And we are live. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Savin's World. My name is Savin, and I want to thank each and every one of you for joining me today. Hope you guys are doing well. Man, it's a Saturday evening-ish, depending on where you are. Saturday evening for me. And not my normal stream time, but it's been a crazy week. Last stream, we started getting into Starfield. Got about halfway through the direct. Wanted to wrap things up with that and just come back and touch base with y'all. We are asking the question, continuing to answer the question, will Starfield suck? And we're going to get into that here in just a second. Before we get going too far, I do want to take a quick second to shout out Old Crow. Old Crow, brother, man, I'm not going to go into detail on what's going on, but thoughts and prayers are with you, man. Thoughts and prayers. Love you, brother, and I hope all is, it's such a rough situation, such a rough situation. So just want you to know that I'm thinking about you. I'm here if you need anything, hit me up. But yeah, thoughts and prayers to Old Crow. If you don't know Old Crow, he's a good friend of the channel. Does moderation work on the Discord and all that. So he's going through a rough patch right now, guys. So if you can, thoughts and prayers, good vibes, whatever you believe in, send them Old Crow's way. Let him know you got his back, and I just want him to know if he watches this, I've got his back too, and I'll whatever I can do for you, brother. So take care, and love you, man. All right. So yes, we're getting into Starfield here, and before we jump back into the discussion, we got made about halfway through the direct last time. Kind of wanted to discuss why the question, will Starfield suck? Why is that such a big question? And I think it's a very, very important question for any of us gamer fans out there, and we should be asking that about many more of the upcoming titles, and many more, all the updates and everything for the ones that we currently exist. We should be doing it more often. And that's because, you know what? Starfield, it's not cheap, man. It's $70 just for the base game. It's a whopping $100 if you want to get the early access to it. It's not 70. I mean, that's a good chunk of change, and for a lot of people, myself included. I'm just a average regular dude. I work a regular job, and when I get home from work at night, I just want to relax. The whole premise of Savin's World when I first started this was leave the madness of the real world behind, and come have some fun in Savin's World. And that was the initial premise. And at the end of every stream, I always say the average gamer is always king of the hill on the bell curve. And people misconstrued exactly what that means, and that's okay. But basically, all I was saying is that there's a lot of average gamers out there. They're not, the professionals that have 8 to 12 hours that they can pour into a game every single day. They're average people. They go home, they bust their asses, working 8 to 12 hour shifts every day. And when they come home, all they want to do is sit down and relax. Leave, take the burdens of the real world off their shoulder for a little bit and immerse themselves in another world and just relax and have a little bit of fun. And that's how I take in gaming. Gaming's entertainment, right? So the other thing that goes along with that is not only are we're busting our butts with the price of everything going through the roof, we got to be very careful, very selective with what we choose to spend our time on and what we choose to spend our money on. So that's why I think this question is vitally important, especially for the average gamer, because let's face it, guys. I mean, we all feel it. We all know it. We all know how things are. Everything's much more expensive. You're working, twice as hard and seeing nothing in return. And it's just a bunch of crap, We all feel it. We all have go through those issues, and I'm the same as anybody else. I go through them too. So that's why for me, gaming has always been my entertainment, my way to decompress, my way to, as I say, escape the madness of the real world for a bit, and enter a new world where I can just let go and have fun and decompress. And it seems like nowadays, for a lot of people, it's movies and television, and all of that stuff is vitally important. Because what you watch your favorite show, you watch a new movie, you play a few hours of a video game, and then you go to bed, and you know that when you wake up in the morning, you got to get up, you got to put on your uniform or put on your work gear, and you got to get out there and you got to bust your ass in another 8-hour shift or 12-hour shift or whatever you have, just to scrape by, just to get enough money in your pocket to keep a roof over your head, to keep the clothes on your back, and put food on the table. So the importance of escapism, it's very important. It's extremely important. And it seems like nowadays the things that we used to hold on to, things that were our escape, they're not escapes anymore. A lot of times, these companies, excuse me, guys. These companies, they release crap product after crap product after crap product, and then if you don't like their crap product. It used to be the companies would go, wow, okay, we thought we had something here. Obviously, we were wrong. The consumers, the fans, the people who purchase our product, they would take a message from it. But that's changed, and I think people are finally starting to wake up to the fact that they don't know, and a lot of people are just turning off to all this crap. And rightfully so, because they'd be like, okay, this product was a failure. Why was it a failure? Let's improve. Because companies have forgotten their purpose, especially entertainment companies. Your job is to release an entertaining product. So the people who purchase that product, that's what they purchase the product for, to be entertained, right? And then when the fans tell you, okay, this is crap, it's not entertaining, and your response to that is, oh no, you're just stupid, or you're an ist, or you're a phobe, or you're whatever, that is your response. That's the modern response to when audiences tell you, give you their judgment on your product. Your job is to entertain. Lately, over the past, 5 years, whatever, 7 years, 10 years, however long it's been going on for a while now, it seems like their job is no longer to entertain. Their job is to preach to you, the average working person, these multi-millionaires, these people who have never, they don't know what the regular average person goes through, and yet they sit up there on their high horse and preach to you about how you should live your life. And if you don't believe the things that they believe, then you're the bad guy. And my response to them is, hey Shannon, sorry about this. Go fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself. You come into my world. You come into my world and you live my life. And we'll see how quickly your tune changes. All right? And we're sick of it. I can't speak for everybody out there, but I'm speaking for myself. I am sick of it. Sick and tired of it. And that's why when it comes to products like this, guys, that $70 is a lot. That's a big price tag, because number one, that money, could be used, put towards something else. That could be used towards, paying your bills or putting more food on the table and all of that. So those decisions are real that people have to make. The average person has to make those decisions daily. And contemplating, whether or not this is going to be something that it would be worth the money. That's something that you really have to take into consideration even more nowadays than before. So that's why this question, I wanted to, have this discussion. So yes. Thanks, Shannon. I appreciate that. Guys, I'll get into chat here in just exactly it. Sorry, I missed that. Yeah, guys, I'll get into chat here in just a second. Once we get going here, I'll welcome everybody here. But I really wanted to start this stream today, just to let you guys know why I'm asking the question, will Starfield suck? Because it's very important. It's very, very important, especially for the average gamer, and that's who I am. And that's what this channel was all about. That's what the intent of the channel was, because when you get home from work, and you don't want to. The last thing you want is to pop on a TV show or pop on a movie and have them constantly, preaching a bunch of bullshit that has no bearing. It's crap. It's all crap, and and it's so annoying. And then when it comes to gaming companies, the last thing you want, and this is one thing, like I said last stream, Bethesda, they're master marketers, man. They are so good at hyping people up and getting people, thinking, oh, this is going to be the best thing since sliced bread, and so you've got to learn how to navigate that, right? You've got to learn how to read through the crap. Because they are masters at marketing and masters at getting people hyped for the next big thing, and they are definitely doing it with Starfield. But they also did it with Fallout 76, and we all know Fallout 76 was a gigantic pile of crap. Gigantic pile of crap. And the other thing that really, really irks me is when companies will straight up lie to your face. They will lie to your face. The build up to Fallout 76, they were making all these claims and how this was going to be, and they knew it. They knew that game was crap. And yet they did all the build up. They released the game in the state that it was in, and then they initially the response was just atrocious. So that's why this question is so important, because your hard-earned dollars are getting even harder to earn. They don't go nearly as far as they used to, and you do not want to plop the most annoying thing is that when you finally decide, okay, this game looks like it might be worth a little bit of my hard-earned money. You plop down that money, and it turns out to be a giant steaming pile of crap. Even though everything that was being said about it, everything that was being released about it, all the hype, all the buildup, all the quote unquote insiders, all the games journalists, and boy, that's a bunch of crap. They all come out and say, "Oh, this is flawless, it's perfect, it's excellent, it's so good," and blah blah blah. "Oh, you're gonna love it. You got to get your hands on this as soon as possible." Blah blah blah, and it all turns out to be crap. And that's because, they honestly do not care. All they want is the access. So they'll say whatever they have to say in order to maintain that access. So the state of entertainment in modern society, or in today's day and age, is just abysmal. And I mean, there are some signs that things might actually be taking a turn in certain areas. But at the same time, it all hinges on us, the average gamer, the average person. The only way that we stop this kind of crap is by not, purchasing the crap and holding these companies accountable, because all they care about is um, getting their hands on your hard-earned money. And in this day and age, when, like I said, it's so much harder to earn, and it does not go nearly as far as it used to, then yeah, those decisions become more and more tough to make. So, all right, rant over, guys. Thank you all for joining me. Hopefully that made sense. I know there's a lot of people out there in very similar situations as me, and hopefully you get where I'm coming from. So, all right, let's get into chat here and say hello to all the fine folks at home. Shannon is here, of course. Shannon, so good to see you. Thank you very much for joining. El Profe Andre, how you doing? Andre, sorry. Chrono, good to see you, man. Chase, welcome to the stream. Jay Liverin, good to see you. Mirani, how are you? All right, let's go through some of the chat that I missed here. I'm not going to scroll all the way back up here. Let's see. Up to date, Fallout 76 is not worthy. I have not played it because of the reviews. I'm right with the Andre. That's the one Bethesda game that I read the initial takes, read the initial reviews, and I was like, what the heck is this? When they first announced it, I was like, that's not Fallout. So obviously, that was as soon as they told me what the game was, I was like, yeah, I'm not going to play it. And then turns out I made the very right decision, because that game was absolute garbage. From what I hear, yeah, they put in some work. It's 5 years later or something like that. And it is playable now, but that doesn't negate the fact that it came out there is no excuse for how atrocious that game launched, and just because they eventually fixed it, that doesn't negate the fact that it was a giant pile of steaming crap. So let's see. Chase says that's exactly it. They're there to preach to you about the true way. That's how dystopias start. High up tell you what you need to believe in, what's the right way to think. Yep, exactly right. Exactly right. Let's see. How many boxes of cereal? Good question. Roughly 14, Kelly says Chase, at least here. And a cereal box is roughly $5 or more. Yeah, isn't that insane? Let's see. That's a lot of meals. Yep, exactly right. Let's see. Chase says EA is also good at hyping their games too. Most of the time they fail. That's why the NFS from early 2000 are still around with lots of add-on cars. Need for Speed, right? Need for Speed. Yeah, I'm not a big racing game kind of guy, but yeah, I get it. Mirani says, I have 4 games that I am enjoying the heck out of right now. So to be honest, I am not buying new games. I can afford to wait and see how it all plays out before I spend. Yeah, exactly. El Profe Andre says, what is your opinion on Mass Effect? Never played Mass Effect. Never got into it. Just because, again, like I said, I'm just a regular average day dude, and the games that I choose to play and choose not to play largely comes down to, do I have the time to do it? Do I have the cash to drop down to get the game? So never got into that. Let's see. If the game doesn't follow the narrative, the game journalists do the opposite. Yeah, just look at how they all tried to sink the Harry Potter game. Yeah, that's exactly right. I received, I lost friends over deciding to play the Harry Potter game. And the only reason I played it is because it looked like a fun game. And guess what? It was. It was a fun game. It was good. That's the average person doesn't approach game. They approach gaming like entertainment. Is this going to be entertaining? Is it going to be fun? That's their baseline. That's the how they all come. How it all starts. Or that's the thing they look for the most. Is am I going to get my money's worth? Is this going to be a good time? And that's how I base my decisions. All right. Let's see. And he says, and that's from a guy that doesn't like Harry Potter. Yeah, yeah, I get it. I get it. Jay Lyron says, when it comes to games, I'm the wait and see kind of guy. Yeah, I'm right there with you. I have not pre-ordered a video game in many, 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 many years. Many, 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 many years. I usually wait until it comes out. Then I watch some gameplay, watch some reviews to see, is this going to be worth it? Will I get entertainment out of this game? Is it going to be fun? Is it going to be worth dropping my cash down on? I think pre-ordering. I've not used normally a big fan of pre-ordering. I don't do it personally because when you pre-order, you do not know what you're going to get. You have to take the word of these companies that the game they're providing you is. You take the word of the companies and you take the word of the game's quote unquote journalists, who are basically bought and paid for by the companies, to on what the game is going to be and if it's going to be worth it. And 99% of the time, it's a whole big bag of lies. So I'm usually in the same boat. Pre-ordering games usually not my style. Not my style at all. All right. So guys, with that being said, I wanted to get into a couple of things. We're going to start off with picking up the direct. We're going to watch the rest of the direct. If you guys, you know what I didn't do? I completely, no, I did. I think I did. I'm pretty sure that if you want to watch the full thing start to finish, you can watch it there's a link in the description. So you can check out the full Starfield Direct, start to finish. We got about halfway through last time. We're going to go until there might be an event next door here starting in the next hour or two. So we're going to go as long as we can. Hopefully we can get through the rest of this direct. And then we'll just kind of wrap it up with a general discussion on whether or not it'll be worth the purchase price of $70, or if this is one that you might want to hold off on. So we'll see, and I'd love to hear what you guys think. I've done some research. I've watched a few videos. I've read a few articles. There's a GQ article, which that has some interesting tidbits that maybe we'll go through. But again, I trust all of these people about as far as I can throw them. So I think what we're going to do is, you know what? I'm going to have to rescale this. Hold on a second, guys. Let me get this here. I'm going to have to rescale this. Give me a second here. I got to rescale. Because it doesn't save. Kind of doing this live. The joys of live streaming, guys. Here, gonna get it all here so it fits into the screen. Okay. There we go. Kind of get it as close to center as possible. There we go. I mean, that's good enough. That's good enough. You guys can see it. We're gonna pick off. We're gonna pick off where we pick up where we left off. There we go. That's what I was trying to say. Let me unmute that there. Jordan Davis, welcome to the stream. Good to see you. Never pre-order ever again since No Man's Lie. Yes, that's another good example, man. That's another good example. All right, guys. So last time, where we left off, they just got done talking about the ship construction, the ability to you can customize your ships, which looks really, really cool. But let's see. Let's pick it up from here and see what else that this can. What other tidbits that this can give us into whether or not Starfield is going to suck. Here we go. There we go. Oh, hold on. Hold on. Why did that not unmute? I unmuted that. Sorry about that, guys. Oh, I'm sorry, Kelly. I'm sorry. I didn't, did I forget? Oh, guys. I am so sorry. Yeah, if I didn't, here, let me back this up a little bit. Sorry about that, Kelly. I'm good to see you, man. I'm just, I'm still, no sound. Yeah, I'm trying to get that fixed right now, Chase. So, yeah, Kelly, good to see you, man. So good to see you.
Build your home among the stars the way you want to. You're probably not the only person who will call your ship home.
All right, let me know if you guys can hear it now.
Ready to lift off when you are, Captain.
I unmuted
Engine's
it
ready.
For some reason.
The Frontier is fueled and ready, Captain.
Still recovering from being sick, guys.
Some of the members of Constellation can join you on your journey. These companions can serve on your crew, and they'll always be there when you travel.
We'll be traveling together until we either find an artifact or this lead runs dry.
Each companion comes with their own valuable skills for your ships and outposts, as well as unique quest lines. Eventually, some friendships might blossom into romance.
I don't know that I've ever really loved anyone except you.
And if you're looking for a little extra help on your ship, you can always hire additional crew at spaceports.
Got any room on your ship for someone like me?
So my question here is, so yes, there's going to be a ton of different companions, which, that's kind of a hallmark of Bethesda games. So, how extensive is it? And the ability to be able to not only, you can have them work you have them on your ship, but you can also make outposts and have them man outposts as well. I think that's really, really cool. Really cool. But how far
You'll
does
also
it
meet
extend?
potential crew members out in the world.
Still think there might be a spot for me on your ship? I gotta get off this rock.
Assign crew to your ship or outposts, and their unique skills will affect how they run.
And can their skills level up? So, like, if you saw, they all had different star ratings for the various skills. Can they learn new skills? Can their skills be upgraded as you go to make them more efficient and better at certain tasks? That'll be interesting to see as well.
And just like companions, most crew members can lend a hand in the field. Take Bosco, for instance.
He's designed around the core basics of a NASA machine.
Please, avoid getting shot. You might die.
I still wanted to give it almost a humanoid personality, so I elongated the limbs. This tends to make him feel more human-like and give him a little personality.
It is a shame exploration requires so much bloodshed.
Using the shipbuilding tools and crew selection features in Starfield, you'll be able to build and captain the ship of your dreams. And now, let's take to the sky.
Gotta say, guys, it looks cool. It looks cool. But again, I will always come back to this point that this is what Bethesda's good at, man. This is their forte, man. They are so good at hyping stuff up and making people, making you believe it's going to be the best thing since sliced bread every single time. So, and we learn the hard way that that's not always the case.
We're putting you in the cockpit of your very own spaceship and telling you that you can do pretty much anything. And that is really cool for us as developers.
And hopefully they mean it. I would love that. That's one of my favorite aspects of games is the open world and being able to go and do whatever the heck I want. It's my game. Give me the framework and then just release me out into the world. Let me play the game how I want to play the game. And in this case, it's not an open world. It's it's an open galaxy. There's 100 star systems, over 1,000 planets, you know, so yeah, there's going to be a lot to get out there and see and do. Hopefully they mean it, and that you actually can get out there and play the game the way you want to play.
Spaceflight should be exciting and dangerous, and you should feel like you're in complete control every step of the way. We've extended that sense of control to ship combat. It's not about just hitting your triggers to fire your weapons. It's a complex dance between your piloting skills and our power allocation system. Boosting power to your engines will make your ship faster. Powering up the ground drives will shorten the amount of time it takes before you can make a jump. And moving your power to your weapons and shields means you're ready for a fight. You should always be on your toes because you're not alone out there. Unlocking the targeting control system skill will allow you to zero in on specific subsystems of the ship you target. After destroying an enemy ship, you can loot the remains from your cockpit. You can always turn any ship that engages you into scrap. But you can also take a more personal approach.
All right, we're gonna pause it here because I wanted that the fight scene kind of to play out before I jumped in, just so you guys could see everything that they showed in that little sequence, and you know, especially with this kind of combat, it's more of a you've gotta try it for yourself before you can make a final determination. So yeah, they again. This is their video. This is released by the developers, so of course they're gonna highlight it to make it appear as good as possible. That goes with the territory. Whether or not it is gonna be that smooth and look that good in real life, or when you actually access it, that has yet to be determined. All we can do is just take the what they're giving us and understand the motivation behind it. Yes, there's a part of me that thinks that that developers, generally speaking, the ones who actually work on the game and focus on the game, a lot of them really are passionate about their projects. The problem comes when the companies get too big, and the higher ups are the ones kind of throwing a wrench in everything because their priorities aren't necessarily the priorities of the people actually making, doing the hands-on work to actually make the product. So let me go through here. Jay Lavrin says, interesting, but I can already kind of tell that there's going to be a lot of issues once they launch it. Yeah, so, I mean, Bethesda's notorious for their bugs. Yeah, they got the nickname Bug Bethesda for a reason. That comes with that is a Bethesda, reality. The question is, are they going to be game breaking bugs? Is it going to be so buggy as to be unplayable? That's the question. I think, so in my experience when playing Bethesda games, I have run into bugs, kind of quirky bugs in most of the products, but I've never run into anything that destroyed my game. I never had any. I did have run into a couple of bugs where I couldn't complete a quest, which was annoying, and all that kind of stuff. So there are going to be some things. But once I was referencing that GQ article because Todd Howard made a very was it Todd Howard? I don't know. One of the guys they interviewed made a very, very bold claim in that article that basically he said that Starfield is going to be the most polished game they have ever released. Well, hinting at the fact that, yeah, okay, maybe they learned their lesson from 76 and learned their lesson from the reputation that they have they've built up that of being Bethesda, and they're taking a more they're taking the bugs a little bit more seriously this time. At least that's how I read it. But again, you always got to go back to that same thing, that of course they're going to say that. They're not going to come out and say, oh yeah, this game's a buggy mess, and you're going to have a bunch of really annoying bugs to deal with when the game launches. Now, I think it's kind of standard in video games nowadays. A game does not release without bugs. It always has little bugs. I think the gamers in general, they fall down on the fact of, whether the launch is acceptable or not. Do the bugs rise to the level where they become so overwhelming that it prevents me from playing and enjoying this game? And 76, the answer to that question was absolutely yes. That was just a nightmare. Previous iterations, previous titles from Bethesda, buggy? Oh yeah, absolutely. Did it destroy the gameplay experience? No, not to the point where I threw up my hands and I'm like, I'm done with this crap. So that's the difference. So they're saying all the right things, but will that actually be true? Because they lied to us in the past, guys, and there's no reason why well, that's not true. There are reasons why they would, if they... Okay, I'm going to stop. Let me keep going through some chat here, and we'll get back to the direct here. Let's see. My only bug so far, it's that it's a big studio that do this project. They have lots of money invested in PR. This is a PR thing. Yeah, it is. Absolutely. 100% PR thing. That is... that part of the territory. Big companies, they spend a lot of money on marketing and PR. So get that word out there, hype the game up, even if they know that the stuff they're saying is absolute horse crap. And unfortunately, that happens a lot more often now, especially nowadays. So let's see. Mirani says, I understand where you're coming from. No Man's Sky was bad at release, but these days I am enjoying it. And that's cool, If you're having fun with the game now, if they've improved it, got it to the point where it's an enjoyable experience, that's awesome. That's awesome. I always say, enjoy the game for what it is, enjoy, but don't forget how it started. Don't forget the launch is very, very important. The launch tells you a lot about the company you're dealing with and how they actually truly view their customer base. Because if they are so willing to release a game in the way that they release the game, says an awful lot. If they're willing to release a game that is absolute crap, they know it's absolute crap, yet at the same time constantly going out there and saying, oh, it's the greatest thing ever, you're gonna love it, that tells the customer they don't respect you. They don't care about you as a customer. All they want is your money, and they will say and do anything to get that money. So always remember that yes, it's great when companies down the road eventually get their products to be in working condition, but they should strive to get to that point as soon as possible. At launch, the game should be as polished as possible. And if they fail to do that and release a product that is absolute crap, buggy as hell, all the while telling you that it is amazing, immaculate, you're going to love this, there's no problems, just denying the fact that there are bugs and oh, no, it's going to work great, your gameplay experience is going to be so awesome. That says a lot about the company. It says a lot about the company. So when companies do have massive failures at launch, and then they eventually turn it around and fix the games, that's cool. You know, if you choose to enjoy the game, awesome, enjoy the game, but never forget their attitude at the beginning. What do they really think of their customers if they're willing to release a product in this state and basically lie to their fan base just to get their money? That says a lot. So don't forget that. And unfortunately, a lot of times as gamers, we often do. That's why I'm asking this question now. I'm a huge Bethesda fan. I've played all of the previous Bethesda games except for 76, and I haven't played Redfall either. But yeah, I've played the previous titles. I have so many hours in all of them. But 76 was a real kick in the balls to a lot of fans. So that's why it's very important to ask this question. Don't give these companies the benefit of the doubt anymore, guys. Because unfortunately, a lot of them, they couldn't care less. They couldn't care less. A lot of the big companies, their attitude is, this is our product. Give us your money. Don't ask questions about the product. Just give us your money. Is the product good? Shut up. Just give us your money. Will this be enjoyable? Shut up. Just give us your money. That's pretty much the attitude a lot of the big companies, and unfortunately, it's trickling down to some of the smaller companies too. So, you got to constantly be vigilant and be on guard nowadays. So, all right. Jay Levern says, "Have you tried Grounded, Savin?" I have. I bought it when it was in early access a long time ago. Gave it a go, played a little bit. It was cool. Haven't got back to it. The only reason I purchased it when I did is because it was the early access price, so it was cheap. I thought that I might return to it down the road, which I just haven't gotten down the road yet. So, all right. Let's keep rolling here. More like horses walking up the side of a mountain. Yeah, yeah, exactly. That kind of bug. If they designed a game to be a buggy mess and promoted it that way, maybe it would work, right? Yeah, exactly, Kelly. Exactly right. There's a reason why they don't, you know, because they just want the sales, man. They just want your money. So, yeah. Jordan says Baldur's Gate 3 is awesome. Yeah, I've heard really good things about Baldur's Gate 3. I heard it's good. Let's see. Not much companies respect the clients anymore, sadly. Yeah, it's all about profits, and they can use the toxic fandom as an excuse if they fail. Exactly right. You know, in the past, it used to be. See, I think, and we've had this discussion here on this channel before, and I'll kind of break it down a little bit. But yeah, it used to be your company or a company would be like, okay, what when you start a company, the question you should ask is why? Why am I starting this company? And the why used to be, I'm going to create a product or service that will enrich or help other people, right? So my life will, or my product or service will make the lives of my fellow man easier. And in return, your fellow man would say, that's a great idea. That's a great product. That's a great service. Here, take my money. That is a fair exchange. That is awesome. Because the focus wasn't about getting the money. That was the end result. The focus was, what can I create? What service can I offer that will make the lives of my fellow man better, easier, right? How can I improve the lives of the people around me? That used to be the why. Unfortunately, nowadays, the why is, why did I start a business? To suck as much money out of other people as possible. And that is, you know, that is the common thread, or that's the common sentiment now. It's no longer moral sentiments. It's now money sentiments, which has been disastrous. So yeah, I agree with you there. Let's see. Should we mention Baldur's Gate? I think you mean Baldur's Gate. Yeah, Baldur's Gate 3. I've heard nothing but good about it. I've heard it's fantastic, phenomenal. Haven't played it, so I can't speak on that for myself. But I have heard that it's pretty good. RC Record says, I know a reviewer, and he says it is really good. Very little bugs. He has run into a few after 30 hours of play. That's encouraging. That's encouraging to hear. And that's like I was saying, I was reading that GQ article, and they made a very bold claim that this is going to be the most polished Bethesda product ever. And when they mean polished, they mean they've worked out all the kinks and all the bugs. So, if that actually turns out to be true, that would be huge, and that would go a long way into restoring, at least a modicum of that reputation that Bethesda has lost, because they have lost a lot of goodwill from their player base, myself included. Like I said, I'm a huge Bethesda fan. I played every single one of their titles before Fallout 76 to no end. Absolutely love it. That kind of gameplay is really in my wheelhouse. That's my thing. It's what I love. And the whole Fallout 76 debacle was just a giant load of crap. And if what they're saying turns out to be true, I will applaud them, and I will absolutely say, good on you. Good on you for recognizing your mistakes, correcting course, and doing better the next time around. Kelly says, I think it's great and has great reviews. Yeah, I've heard that Baldur's Gate 3 is amazing. So, haven't played it myself, but I've heard great things. So, see, G. Leverin says, a lot has changed since then for Grounded, and it does have an end game. Great Discord too. Awesome. That's good to hear. Let's see. Same time, if we think about scandal like Pinto's fire that Ford knew about before releasing the cars, wild. Was there a time where companies cared about people? I think yes, there was. And more importantly, I think the problem is when you get too many cooks in the kitchen, so to speak. So there's a big contingent of people out there who just rail on corporations and they're the greatest evil of evils, and there is something to be said that there are corporations out there that do tremendous amounts of evil. Absolutely true. The problem is when you put too many cooks in the kitchen, that's where you get issues. The true entrepreneur, the true innovators, they all start small, right? They all start. Innovation doesn't happen in the corporate boardroom. Innovation happens in the basement. Innovation happens in the garage. And once companies get to a point where they are so big that they lose sight of that fact, that's where you run into problems. And there's even more that goes into that. But the true entrepreneur, the true capitalist, if you will, is the person who has a dream, has an idea, sitting in their basement, sitting in their garage, sitting in their home office or wherever they are, and they have an idea. They're like, you know what? I think I know a way to build a better mousetrap, as the old saying goes. I think I know a way where I can improve the lives of the people around me, and offer a great product and a great service. Let me give this a try. So they get to work. They work on their idea. They polish it. They build it. They take it from nothing, turn it into something, release it out into the world, and see how the world responds. That is how true innovation really that's the focal point. That's where it starts. And unfortunately nowadays, that's why we've seen such stagnation here in the United States, right? Because the little guy, the average person, they just keep getting squashed down, while the mega corporations just keep bloating themselves up. Just look at Disney. Wow. what is their strategy now? Do they, let me ask yourself an honest question. Does Disney create anything anymore? When is the last truly successful new Disney product? How long has it been? They don't create things anymore. All they do is they recycle the stuff from, you know, years and years and years ago and destroy it. Or they purchase existing properties and bastardize those because they have lost the ability to innovate. They have lost the ability to create. That's gone in Disney. That's why their company is going down the tubes. They suck. And that's because you lose focus of what breeds true ingenuity, inspiration, or innovation. Innovation doesn't start in a committee. Innovation doesn't start in a boardroom. Innovation starts with the individual who has an idea and puts forth their personal effort to bring that idea to life, finally realizing that idea and releasing it into the world, and the world looking at that idea and saying, wow, that's a brilliant idea. Let me exchange some of my hard-earned money for that product or service. That's where innovation lies, and it's in all fields, guys. It's in all fields. All right, I'm rambling. We've been sitting on this guy's face for I don't know how long. Let's keep rolling.
By docking with the enemy vessel and boarding their ship.
We're getting into piracy now, guys. Arg. Be a space
Once you've
pirate.
taken control of an enemy ship, it's yours.
Nice.
Add it to your fleet and retrieve it at any spaceport. But space is
I missed it.
way
I wanted
more
to
than
pause
fighting
it
for
there.
your...
You saw earlier in the direct ship 1 of 1, and then this one here we saw ship 4 of 9. So this person's playthrough, they have 9 ships currently. So yeah, you can have multiple ships in your fleet. I'll be interested to see how that shapes out. Like, are there perks or skills that you have to invest in order to expand the number of ships you can have? What's the limit on that? What's the max you can have at any one time? So yeah.
Life. Just like when you're planetside, there are plenty of sights to see and stops to make on the way to your next adventure. Like these massive star yards.
This is a really cool feature, I think, because not only do you have the each of the individual worlds to explore, but you'll have stuff out in space to explore as well, which is really cool. Jordan says Disney is a horrible company. I remember a little kid passed away and the mother got a gravestone shaped like Minnie Mouse. Disney had it removed over copyright concerns. Yeah, Disney is there. Guys, the word for Disney right now is evil. Disney is an evil company. They're atrocious. I'm sorry. When they finally eventually go out of business, that'll be a good day, because Disney is trash. They are absolute trash. See, Chrono says, oof, you can go full pirate. Yes. Chase says, arr, we be pirates. Yeah, exactly. So I'm thinking, I'm seriously contemplating it if I do jump into Starfield, what direction I want to take. Oh, I love it. And I'm thinking, space pirate, that might not be bad. I love it.
Walk the halls, talk to the crew, maybe get talked into buying a whole new ship.
A civilian in my star yard. Let's see about getting you a proper ship, one worthy of you.
Maybe you'll dock with a gigantic battleship, like the UC Vigilance. Or rub elbows with the galaxy's wealthy elite on a cruise ship fit for the stars. There are plenty of personal encounters to be had as well. You can hail any ship you come across to trade, swap info, or maybe even commit an act of piracy.
Let's do this.
When I'm playing, I generally go crazy. I definitely go like the more piracy routes. I want to take over ships. I'm gonna board ships. I'm like, this is now mine. I steal all the sandwiches and put them, in my cargo hold that I have specifically for sandwiches. I don't want to play the hero, but I want to go out and just start taking things from people as quickly as possible.
That woman's a trip, man. Night Owl, good to see you, man. Welcome to the stream. Greeting, true believers. Yes. Let's see. Give up and join the crew or out the airlock with you. Exactly right. Did you guys play Sea of Thieves? Yes, I did play Sea of Thieves, Chrono. Quite a while back. It's a fun game. It's just not my thing because I'm not a big PvP guy, and there's no PvE in there's no way to go only PvE in Sea of Thieves, so I just found it annoying. Being, because I'd be in the middle of a mission or finding a treasure chest or trying to do something and have to fend off some other person trying, just being a jerk and just, I remember one time I was just fishing. Just fishing. It was just me. I was like, you know what? I want to relax a little bit. Let me jump in and do a little bit of fishing, see if I can get some of the fishing going on. And I wasn't doing, it was just me, literally just me sitting on a pier. Fishing, just fishing, doing nothing. Some random jackwagon came by and sunk my ship, and I'm like, okay, fine, cool. But when that didn't get a reaction out of me, he jumps on board the dock where I'm just sitting there fishing and killed me. I was like, all right, buddy, good on you. Hope you feel good. You feel good. So yeah. Let's see. Let me go through here. Since you don't enjoy PvP much, I'm guessing you haven't played or checked out Star Citizen. No, I have not, KO. Have not. Kelly says, how many players on one ship and crew? That's another good question. And what's cool is I think that is going to be variable. It's going to change from ship to ship. And plus, with your ability to upgrade ships, I think you might be able to increase that amount. So I think they said during the ship building and ship upgrading section that you can add in the living area basically to increase the amount of crew members you can have on your ship at one time. So
some strangers might be looking for a little human connection in the darkness of space.
Hello, stranger. I just finished cooking up some food. If you want to come on over, just pop on by.
Some of the best...
I think that's another really cool thing that they would add in, and it would just make sense. So space, yes, is vast. I mean, it is vast. And if you're a lone pilot or a lone person making a space journey, because you're going to want that need for human connection is always there. I mean, human beings are social creatures, even though, there are some of us who are not as adept with human interactions. They kind of make us a little uncomfortable. But even the introvert like myself would still has that desire, that craving for human interaction. So of course it would be there, and that would be very, very strong if you're making a space-bound journey on your own. That need for human interaction. See, Night Owl says, so graphic and universe depth, I think Star Citizen has a slight edge over Starfield. But if Bethesda pulls out their A game, I'm going to guess they will have a better story. Yeah, and I think, see, that's kind of the defining line. Story has always, with games like this, has always been king to me. The open world is important, being able to explore, but at the same time, you need a good story to hold it all together. And that's something that Bethesda is usually pretty good at. Fallout 4 was a little disappointing in terms of the story. I thought that, they really should have put a little bit more focus in that. But yeah, to me, I graphics and that kind of thing have never been high on my priority list. But I know other people, it's very, very important. And that's, again, I've said it before, I'll say it again. That's a great thing about gaming, guys, is whatever is your priority, whatever is the thing that makes or breaks or a game to you, there's something out there that will satisfy that itch for you. So, all right, let's keep rolling.
Moments are the ones you discover on your own. The thing I love most about Starfield is that it is a Bethesda game through and through. It's really about going to strange new places, meeting interesting people, and getting sidetracked on zany adventures. Then, realizing 2 hours later that you're involved in a completely new story.
You're human. We thought we were the only ones to leave Earth.
That DNA is so present here. It's in our random encounters, it's in our handcrafted quests, and it feels so cool to play it and just make your own path in this universe. There are over 1,000 planets out there, just waiting for you to visit. We want you to feel like explorers, breaking ground on new planets, exploring every inch of a mostly untouched galaxy. We want you to feel hopeful. We want you to feel this sense of awe and wonder, and sometimes a little fear. We're giving you a massive play.
Okay, that looked cool. I just gotta say, that looked cool. Let me jump back into here. I already know 3 potential crewmates, Schneiding, Ninja, and Captain. Not sure if they'd be up for it, though. Unfortunately or fortunately, depending on what you like, Starfield is a single-player game. So, yeah, they would love to have them as crewmates in my Starfield adventure. But having them actively play with me at the play along with me while I'm playing the game, not going to be possible in Starfield. But I get what you're saying. I definitely get what you're saying. Let's see. Gotta say this: Bethesda is now Microsoft property. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Star Citizen is also Microsoft property. Wondering which one Microsoft will decide to fully back over the other. That's a good question. Jay Laverin says, could you imagine Fear the Pirate Queen that is Mental Ninja? She'll sick her space bears on you. Oh, I love it. Yes. Night Owl says, I think Starfield will still look great. Just constantly wowed by what I see of Star Citizen. Star Citizen is very lacking for alien life. Which is a big miss to me. Yeah, again, like I said, I'm not familiar with Star Citizen. Haven't played it myself, so I don't know exactly what to say. David, welcome to the stream. Says Star Citizen is a space sim. Starfield is an RPG. Yeah, so different genres are going to get different things. Would make sense. All right, guys, let's get back to it.
Around in a ton of toys, and just setting you free.
Hey everybody, we've shown you so much stuff, but we thought we'd just take a little break and show you something a little bit different. You know, we put so much detail into our game worlds, and we love the opportunity to bring that into the real world with our collector's editions. And for this game, we've done a watch. It is the Constellation Explorer's Watch.
Gotta say, I couldn't care less. Honestly. Yeah.
This is the watch that you actually get in the game that acts as part of your HUD, where it's the compass and then environmental information. It connects to your phone to give you notifications and other information. And we've also designed this really cool case that it comes with, Istvan.
Yeah, we really took as much care and designed this case as we did the watch. Our attention to detail in the game totally translates to this.
Again, I must say, guys, remember back to Fallout 76 and all the special edition stuff that they hyped up about that release? And then remember what players reported they got? And the crap quality? Yeah, keep that all in mind. Again, this kind of stuff, I'm not interested in this at all. So, if those of you out there that may be interested in this, I'm gonna let it. We'll let it play through the rest of this section. But for me, I don't care about any of this extra crap. You know, I don't buy a video game to get all the extra. You know, but to buy all the merchandise and that kind of guy. I just want an entertainment product. So let's try to stick with the entertainment product, if you will. Night Owl says, I didn't realize it's single player, but that makes sense given Skyrim. Yeah, that is, so this is, Starfield is Bethesda's claiming that this is going to be a return to form, and that's what Bethesda's always been about, is the single player open world RPG. So this is after the debacle of Fallout 76, they hopefully are getting back to the basics where they came from. Chase says, just saw that I was wrong. Star Citizen ain't owned by Windows, so my previous concern is null. Oh, okay, cool. J. Lambert says, pay us and get free and useless stuff you paid for. Yeah. So, I mean, don't get me wrong. If the game is really good and fans are hyped about it and they want to purchase all the extra stuff, like, for instance, I still own the Fallout New Vegas. I got the collector's edition from that, which has, the little book and a bunch of cool, nifty little stuff. That wasn't Bethesda. But, I can understand that. But to me, I think the most important thing is the game itself and the gameplay. Is the game going to be worth it? All this extra crap can come down the road. If your game is a great game, then yeah, I might buy a Starfield T-shirt, or I might buy a, whatever this. I won't. I'm just saying. I personally, I usually don't. But, I'm just saying, from the regular average Joe, yeah. If I enjoy your game that much, and I've spent a good amount of time playing it, and I want to let people know that, hey, this is awesome, I'm loving it, I have no problem with the merchandising options. It's just for adding it in here in a PR video, it's blatantly obvious what all this stuff is about. It's just a way to get more money. Why don't you, Bethesda, here's what you should do. Why don't you focus on releasing a good game? Once you have proven that the game is good, then you can say, okay. Then you can come back to the customers and with more to offer. But why don't you first prove that the game that we're paying for initially is good? Yeah.
Inspired by the cases that the astronauts used during the Apollo era to bring back samples from the moon. It's got an intricate locking mechanism, authentic, heavy, comes with a Constellation patch, NATO strap, and the overall functionality and believability of this as something that would exist in the world, in the Starfield universe.
Oh, and hey, take this. You'll find it very useful out there, and it even tells the time.
We actually have something else. Now that we're part of Xbox, we get to work with the amazing people on the Xbox hardware team, and together we have created this custom limited edition Starfield controller. It's awesome. It is now, our favorite controller.
We love this because it's inspired by the actual controls of your spaceship. And not only that, we've created the first ever custom headset with Xbox. And this is a perfect pairing with that controller.
Control, this is Constellation Starship Frontier. Ready to start on your signal. Steady till ready. Coordinates input. Plotting jump course.
Yeah, I don't have a lot to add here, guys. This is stuff I couldn't care less about. One thing I will say during the section, though, guys, that music, that hits hard, man. That music is...
In every one of our games, we always put so much care into all those little details that breathe life into our worlds. But Starfield isn't just a Bethesda Game Studios world, it's a Bethesda Game Studios galaxy. So why go this big with Starfield? Because we want to give you freedom on a galactic level. The freedom to experience both the exciting planets and the quiet ones. Scanning a planet before you land is a great way to get a sneak peek at the available resources you can use for crafting, building, and customizing.
I think what's cool about this whole system that we generate the planet itself as a procedural content, but the handcrafted content itself comes as the player explore.
Then that's one of the concerns that a lot of people have is, did they go too big? You know, with 1,000 different worlds, obviously they're going to have to do procedurally generated worlds for a lot of it. But how empty are they going to to feel? You know, and that'll be interesting to find out. Is because usually their handcrafted stuff is really good. So adding in the handcrafted into the procedural, I think might make things a little bit better. But how exactly empty is this galaxy going to feel? Now again, for realism, quote unquote realism points, space, a lot of it is empty, you know? So, but again, this is a game. You want it to be fun. So adhering to realism in this context, probably not the best way to go about it, because people shouldn't be so empty that people are going to get bored, right? And hopefully that's not the case. Again, we shall see. Chase says, ain't that controller the same as the other Xbox controller, just with a different paint? Yeah, pretty much. Indeed, music seems neat. Yeah, the score for this is amazing. Absolutely amazing. Oh, look, something new and shiny. Let's see how long it lasts before it breaks. Yeah, exactly.
Our system builds a planet as the player approaches it. We stitch together a block of terrain. After that, we have the system that adds interesting locations for the player to explore, creatures to encounter.
Yeah, but will they be interesting to explore? That's going to be the big question.
It allows us to add that touch of environmental storytelling that Bethesda is known for.
Aggressive creatures have been disrupting our experiments. Their habitat isn't far from here. If you could take care of them for us, we would be in your debt.
So even if your friends were to visit the same planet that you had, you would have a different story to tell.
And I gotta say again, guys, the combat in this direct, so much better than the original one they released a year ago. It looks so much better. Now this is an interesting frame here, because you look and you see legendary item acquired. So there is going to be a tier system with the weapons. So you'll probably have like basic common weapons, and you'll have higher tier weapons going up from there. So this is pretty cool that there is going to be a legendary system in the game. And holy cow, Chrono, thank you so much, dude. Chrono just gifted 10 memberships to the chat, or to the stream. So thank you so much, Chrono. Really appreciate that. Really appreciate that. That is awesome, dude. All right, let's keep on rolling here. Got about
it's completely
10
up
minutes
to you,
go, guys.
how you want to interact with each planet. Whether you want to explore and see what you can find, harvest resources and be on your way, or simply take in the views. With the help of your scanner, you'll chart the uncharted.
Oh, real quick, I see, just because of one of the people who got the memberships was Old Crow. Again, I started the Crow. I don't know if you saw the start of the stream, but I started out by saying thoughts and prayers are with you, brother. And I want to stop and say again, you know, I'm here for you. If you need anything, you know, reach out, brother. Nothing but love, and I know it's a rough time for you, so. Yeah, appreciate you so much, man.
And discover exotic wildlife.
If you have the skills, you can even figure out that certain creatures and plants, you can build an outpost and produce resources from those plants and animals. You can get experience and rewards for fully surveying planets and fully surveying a whole system.
When we were concepting these creatures, we really wanted to think of them as natural to the environment. We didn't want alien monsters. We wanted native wildlife. Something you've never seen before.
I think that's kind of cool, you know? So instead of, you know, a lot of sci-fi games, the alien creatures are, like, extremely crazy just for crazy's sake, you know? But it seems like what they're saying here is that the creatures from planet to planet, they really thought about why they would be the way that they're portrayed. You know, what's the purpose behind having the features that they have? I think that's cool.
When it comes to our exteriors, when the sun moves, all that light is calculated in real time through the atmosphere. Our biggest goal for lighting with Starfield was to make the game feel more filmic, to use lighting and color to really make it feel more cinematic.
A lot of pretty shots. And they really are showcasing a lot of different planet types and biomes.
After some exploring, you can find a spot to set up a base camp. Outposts can be built almost anywhere on any planet. And the habitat modules come in all shapes and sizes, filling all different purposes. You can even live in them. Assign crew and companions to work at your outposts for added bonuses.
This is one thing that I'm really looking forward to, and I really hope it's a great building system. As you guys know, I love building in video games. Absolutely love it. So not only do we have the ship construction where you can customize and build ships, but now we have outpost construction as well, where you can build outposts. I really hope that this they took their time with this feature as well, and made it very enjoyable to do, because Fallout 4 had building, but to say it was the most polished, no. Definitely had its issues, but I still, at the same time, I spent a lot of time in Fallout 4 building up my settlements. So hopefully they've taken that and just, you know, taken it to a whole new level. So this is one thing that I'm really excited to see how it actually plays out.
And set up extractors to harvest resources while you're away.
Something cool we have this time is we have a new fly cam where you can toggle between on-foot building, or you can now use a top-down isometric camera, which helps plan out larger parts of the outpost and placing those larger halves. That way you can really plan your structures and what the overall feel of your outpost is. And then when you're on your feet, you can really decorate and fine-tune things.
So you get like a bird's eye view, so you can actually visualize, you can actually see the layout as you're going from the top down. I think that's kind of cool.
It's much easier.
Add crafting and research stations in your outpost to utilize any resources you find or already have.
Mod your weapons to adapt them to your playstyle. Different weapon sights and scopes, larger magazines, a selection of grips and barrels, different ammunition like explosive rounds. All you stealth players out there will surely need a suppressor. You can also choose to go hands-on with melee weapons.
I think it's always a delicate balance between like what's realistic, what's sim, and what's Hollywood. And I think we sort of err on the side of like what's fun for the player.
which is a great way to approach any video game. What is fun for the player? That's the point. Always put the focus on the player. What do the customers, the paying customers, what do they want? What would they prefer? Focus on the players. You know, so again, that's they're saying the right thing. Will they deliver? We're getting close, guys. We're getting close to knowing, finding that out for ourselves.
With Starfield, we've completely overhauled our combat. It's more dynamic, the animations are more fluid.
Yeah, and I'll say it again, guys. They're not that is one thing that they are not lying about. The initial thing that they showed a year ago, they could not have made this claim then. What they're showing off now is night and day different to what they originally put out there.
It just feels great.
We probably have more mods and more weapons in this game than I want to say any other game we've done before. There's a lot of variety.
Upgraded gear is just one of the many factors to pay attention to when engaging in combat. You may need to switch things up based on your environment. Gravity is different for each planet, and boost packs are excellent for getting around. And for giving you an edge in combat. Sometimes you'll even feel like you're flying. Zero-gravity environments pose a different challenge. Firing a ballistic weapon in zero-G will actually push you backwards. Energy weapons, on the other hand, offer a more stable shooting experience.
That's another really cool feature, is that they took into consideration how different weapons would, how they would cause different reactions in different environments. So lower, no gravity. Of course, a ballistic weapon's gonna push you back, and then you have the energy weapons that won't. So it's really cool that they little tidbit that they threw in there, because it details they matter.
We also have mag weapons. These are high-powered electromagnetic induction ballistic arrays. Each barrel has its own targeting laser and can dish out some serious damage. Whether you want to get up close and personal with your own two fists, or you like more compact weapons like pistols and submachine guns, or maybe you prefer something bigger. Starfield's got you covered.
that dude really just attack a dinosaur with the butt of his rifle. Love it. Gregory, welcome to the stream. Thank you very much for joining. Energy weapons checkmark. Yes, indeed. I paused it for a reason. Oh yes, that's right. I wanted to I wanted to talk about something that they just discussed. I love that there are so many different weapons and weapon choices to choose from. Excuse me. That's really cool. The question's gonna come down to, yes, but are they all viable? That's gonna be the question. Because yeah, there could be a million different weapons, but if only one or two of them are viable, then everybody's gonna play their one or two weapons, It all comes down to the balancing of the weapons. Is each style going to be as viable as the next? That's a big question. It's something that Bethesda has not always done the best job of, is balancing the weapons and the different paths that you take. So will each weapon be as viable or close? It's not going to be exact. There's always going to be differences, but Will each path, will each way, each play style be as viable as the next? That's a good question. Oh, dude got launched. I love it. Schneidi, how you doing, man? Good to see ya. Welcome to the stream. Let's see. Kelly says they may be viable in different environments. Very true. Yeah, good point. Great point. So in some environments you might want to try one weapon type, and in others you might need another. So yeah, that's a good point. Gregory says armor for each type, like Fallout? Possibly. Chase says Kelly and I had the same idea. Yes. Great point, guys. Very good point. Space magic. So it looks like there is even more to this game than they've announced. This was their little teaser at some kind of additional abilities that your character may get down the road. So it looks like there may be space magic in Starfield, guys. So you can be a space pirate wizard, perhaps. I gotta say, guys, there's a lot that they've shown off in this thing that is, I mean, if it pans out, if it turns out to be true, there's a lot in this direct that it hits all the right notes, guys. It hits all, for me personally, it hits all the right notes.
Thanks again for being with us today. We are just so grateful that you've taken the time and spent it here. I know there was probably a lot to take in. There's a lot to the game, even more than we could show here. As we play it, we're always sharing these unique and special moments that only a game like this can bring. When I think about what makes it special, it really is the people here. This game is a reflection of the incredible and passionate team that made it. All of them putting something special of themselves into it. So let's hear some of their favorite moments.
I love the way that our final combination of all the new tech has come together to create some of the most beautiful sunsets and sunrises we've ever had in any of our games.
I love the creatures, the exploration, every biome is different. The word that comes to mind is vast.
Yeah, I think, yes, that's a good word. And if it's a space game, space is vast, so it should. Let's see here. Armor ratings, specifically, perhaps. Let's see, Force or Psionics? Perhaps. Who knows? Chase says, Harry, you're a space pirate wizard. Oh, I love it.
I like to use our photo mode to take rock star photos.
I just love that constant feel of discovery and, wow, I can't believe that there's more here.
I'm most excited about our outpost building systems.
My favorite part is every time you step out on a planet, it's a unique experience.
You spend all this time building your ship, and you see it on the landing pad. These things are gigantic. It's the kind of thing that you just can't get anywhere else.
There's something about seeing a tower over in the distance and going, I know the gravity's low here. I think I can make that jump.
My favorite part is biomes, spaceships, audio design, planets, the day-night cycle.
Those details matter to me.
Diplomacy, exploration, freedom, the ending. Beskar, obviously.
I love the robot so much.
The incredible amount of worlds we created.
Sniper rifles, come on.
Lever action, rocket launcher,
brain sprout. I love, but some people might find creepy. I don't know. I know it's right, Ben. The thing that I enjoy most about the game is the freedom to be who you want to be, do what you want to do. It's what you've come to expect from a Bethesda title, but on a much bigger scale.
On behalf of all of us, we can't wait for you to play Starfield and make your own special moments.
Make engines go. Good luck, Constellation. You are go for launch.
And there it is, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, here. I'll let it play. There you go. That is the official full release date, so 9/6/23. You can get the early access, 5-day early access, if you pay the extra money to get the early access. So you can actually start playing at midnight on August 31st. So September 1st, basically. So just a couple of days away, guys. Just a couple of days away. Yeah, that was the direct. A lot of good stuff in there, you know, a lot of good stuff. All right, there we go. Get back to that. There we go. So yeah, let me jump back into chat here. Whisker Biscuits are in the house. How you guys doing? Thank you so much for joining. What's up? This game is looking pretty good. Basically what No Man's Sky should have been. Yeah. There's encouraging things in the video, or in the direct, but as I said at the very beginning and throughout, got to take everything that Bethesda puts out with a massive grain of salt, because of course they're going to try to make their game look as good as possible and say everything is awesome. All that fun stuff. So it's close, guys. It's getting close. We're almost there. Chase says, well, if the game is actually what they say, I hope they add a multiplayer mode at one point. Also, I love mods, so Star Trek mods and Gundam mods have your own mobile suit. Yeah, I think the modding capabilities, modders are going to love this game. They are going to go to town on this game. As far as multiplayer in Starfield, I think that would be a mistake. Bethesda games are not multiplayer games. They're just not. That is a fail. That's why 76, they tried to do the Fallout multiplayer. Fallout's not a multiplayer game, right? It's a single player game. And Starfield should be the same. It should be kept a single player game, because that's what Bethesda is good at. That's when they're at their best. It's when they release the best product. They're not a multiplayer gaming company. They don't know how to make good multiplayer games. Maybe even Star Wars ships and sound effects mod too. Oh yeah, I guarantee all of that stuff is going to be added in for sure. You're going to see a lot of Star Wars, a lot of Star Trek, you name it. You're going to see those mods coming out. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. Kelly says, still waiting for Elder Scrolls 6. Yeah. They're working on it. It's stuff like that takes millennia, I think. Just kidding. So there you go, guys. That is the Starfield Direct. The original stream where we covered the first half will be available tomorrow. And then this one I will try to get on Savage World Live on Monday. So if you missed any of the stream, you can get either of the streams, you can catch up. But let's do just a quick rundown. I was going to go over that article, but I'm starting to wear out. It's only been an hour and a half. Still recovering, guys. So I'm still recovering. So I'm starting to wear down. So I want to go through some of the points that I've made throughout. And I'll answer the question for myself of when am I going to pre-order? What is my take on Starfield? When am I going to jump in? Am I going to jump in? And all that fun stuff. We'll go through that. So as you guys know, I've always been a huge Bethesda fan. I've played every single one of their titles up to Fallout 76, and I enjoyed them immensely. More hours into those games than probably every other video game I've ever played combined. And that's just my style of game. It's the thing that I really love. The single player, massive, open world RPG. Just throw me into a world, let me loose, let me play how I want to play, and let me just go to town. And then Fallout 76 happened, and wow, what a disaster that was. And reportedly, Bethesda, took a look at that and was like, okay, we really messed up. Let's get back to the drawing board. And then this is supposed to be their return to form, going back to what they're best at, the single player, massive, open world, or in this case, open galaxy RPG. And time will tell whether it will be that return to form or not. Will I be pre-ordering the game? No, I will not. Even though I do believe that it is, I'm liking a lot of what I'm seeing. I like a lot of some of the early things being said about it. At the same time, I'm a regular, average, everyday guy, just like all of you out there. And my time and my hard-earned money is very, very dear to me, and I do not part with either lightly. So especially after the debacle of 76, Bethesda's going to have to prove to me that their product is worth my money before I put down my money. And who knows? Who knows? Maybe I'm cautiously optimistic that this will be a return to form. That this will ultimately end up being a game well worth the purchase price. And then I, at that point, will jump in and give it a shot, and start making some content on it for you guys and all that kind of stuff. But until then, I think what I'm gonna do is like a lot of other people do. I'm gonna read the reviews, and I'm gonna watch some videos on people's takes and all that fun stuff. I'm gonna the games journalists and that kind of crap. No, I disregard their opinions almost immediately because they have absolutely no credibility left. Instead, I'm going to be listening to friends and people that I do trust their judgment, and I do trust what they're saying. I'm going to be keeping my eye on it. And I think what I'm going to do for Savin's World is exactly that. I'm going to bring you guys what I find, because while I'll be sitting back and just making this decision for myself, you guys will all be doing the same thing. If this is something you want to jump into, this is something you want to give a try. Well, I will do the research online and see what people are saying about it, and I'll bring that information to you guys. I will be stay completely out of it. I will just say this is what people are saying. Take this information for what it is. Use it to make your final determination, because this is something that everybody's going to have to decide for themselves. So we'll see how it goes. So I'm really hoping that it is not a debacle. I really hope that it is everything. It turns out to be everything that they claim it to be. But only time will tell, guys. Only time will tell. And until that time, I will be trying to keep you guys as up to date on what is being said as we go out through go along the process here. And then I'll also let you guys know when if I decide, okay, this game is worth it, I'm pulling the trigger for myself, I'm going to jump in. And then maybe we'll start doing some content on the actual in the game, some guides and tutorials like we normally do here in Savin's World, and then go from there. So, will Starfield suck? I hope not. I really hope not. And we will know the true answer to that question, I think, here very, very soon. So, yeah. It'll be interesting to find out I'm keeping my fingers crossed. Again, like I said, cautiously optimistic. Cautiously optimistic. Let's see. Whisker Biscuits say, I'll check it out on Game Pass. And Gregory says, ooh, Game Pass is an option I hadn't considered. And time is my only consideration. Yes, that is a good point. That is a very good point. Because this game will be available, I think, on day one on Game Pass. So on September 6th, I believe it will be available on Game Pass. So for all of you out there who have Game Pass, you could check it out without having to drop down that extra $70. So I do not have Game Pass, so unfortunately that's not an option for me. So both time and money are considerations of mine. But as Gregory said, if you have Game Pass, then time's going to be your consideration. So excellent. All right. I will once again want to send a huge thank you out to everybody who joined the stream. Special shout out to Chrono for gifting the memberships to the chat today. I really appreciate that, man. Very, very generous. And then another special shout out to Shannon and Kelly, the mod extraordinaires. You guys are awesome. Again, another message to Old Crow. Old Crow, man, I love you, brother. Let me know if you need anything. Hit me up. So another huge thank you to everybody who joined in the chat, and big thank you to everybody watching in the background. I appreciate each and every one of you. I will be back. I'm hoping that I can, now that I'm starting to feel better, I can actually get back to making some content for you guys, because it's been a very rough week. There's a chance that I'll be able to get something going for you, get a video ready for you for Tuesday. We shall see. But no promises, guys, because again, like I said, it's been a rough week, man. It has been a rough week. And I'm just now starting to get back out of it, get back into the swing of things. So we shall see. Yeah, next week, not sure what I'm going to be doing. Honestly, I haven't planned that far ahead. Just kind of going moment by now. So yeah. Anyway, I'm starting to ramble. Time to get out of here. Starfield could be cool. Time will tell. It's coming soon. But for now, this is Savin saying thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining me in Savin's World. And remember, the average gamer is always king of the hill on the bell curve. Have a great night, guys, and we will see you next time.